Free City is an on-the-web, open-world computer game created by Tsunami Games. Its source code was taken from an unreleased game called Life Itself, created by Walter Keys McKee and Millie Rusk, and utilized by Tsunami's head engineer Antoine Hovacek to make Free City. Keys has since taken some work at Tsunami, while Millie invests energy inside Free City as her symbol Molotov Young Lady to track down proof of code that she and Keys had composed, and to demonstrate that they legitimately own the code. In the game, Fellow, a non-player character, NPC, functions as a bank employee and invests energy with his closest companion and collaborator, bank safety officer, Mate, ignorant that his reality is a computer game. At some point, he experiences Molotov Young Lady, who is singing the tune that he says his beauty queen will like, and starts to go amiss from his programming. He takes a couple of shades from a player who attempts to burglarize his bank, through which he sees Let Loose City from the player's head show, HUD. Fellow addresses Millie, who at first thinks he is another player named Blue Shirt Fellow, and not a NPC. She advises him to even out up to over 100 proceedings she will address him in the future. Keys and his colleague Mouser trust Fellow to be a programmer camouflaged as a NPC, and ineffectively endeavor to forbid him from the game. As opposed to stepping up through horrendous demonstrations, Fellow selects to perform great deeds, finishing missions inside Free City to arrive at level 102. His temperate movement, which stands apart from those of different players, brings about Blue Shirt Fellow turning into an overall sensation. Millie and Fellow meet again when she breaks into the reserve, another player's very much safeguarded compound that holds proof of her source code. Fellow assists Millie with getting away from the reserve, and Millie is puzzled when Fellow needs to kiss her. Keys understands that person is really a NPC, and that his mindfulness happened from man-made brain power, computer-based intelligence code, containing Millie's own inclinations, that Keys had remembered for life itself, which thusly had driven person to foster a heartfelt interest in Millie. Likewise, Fellow's resulting connections with different NPCs have driven them to foster mindfulness also. Keys chooses to assist Millie with recovering their code before Free City is cleared off of Tsunami's servers to clear a path for its spin-off, Free City 2, in 2 days. At the point when Millie comes clean with Fellow of his circumstance, Fellow severs their relationship, telling her that he is enamored with her. Notwithstanding, in the wake of talking with Pal about the circumstance, Fellow understands that there was more than affection in their relationship and gains full awareness. Fellow gets back to Millie and consents to help. Fellow breaks into the reserve again with Pal's assistance, where its proprietor, perceiving Fellow, surrenders the proof. Fellow's proceeded with prevalence compromises the send-off of Free City 2, and Antoine orders Keys and Mouser to reboot the whole game, yet Keys denies and Antoine reboots the game himself. In the game, Millie tracks down Person with next to no recollections of his consciousness. However, reviewing Keys' recommendation that Person would require an update, she kisses him. Fellow's awareness is re-established, and he reviews the area of the island, part of life itself, that won't be safeguarded from the forthcoming information wipe, and which is the main verification of Millie and Keys' unique code. Antoine then attempts to straightforwardly dispose of Fellow and Molotov Young Lady from the game by raising their needed level to most extreme. However, as Fellow and Millie have convinced different NPCs in the game that they are more than their programming, they never again answer outside orders and decline to meddle. Antoine then retreats to straightforwardly controlling the game geology to kill Fellow and Molotov Young Lady, while Keys rolls out his own improvements to secure and guide them to the island, broadcasting the work to the Free City players, who had been all shot out from the game. Antoine fires Keys, and afterward sends Fellow, a strong, incomplete duplicate of Fellow, produced with the expectation of complementary City 2, into the game. Unfit to overcome him in direct battle, Fellow puts his shades onto Buddy, the HUD diverting the significantly less full-grown computer-based intelligence endlessly. Antoine then, at that point, goes into Tsunami's server room and starts obliterating the game's servers with a fire hatchet in a final, desperate effort to keep his burglary from being uncovered, driving Mouser to find Antoine's violations and get terminated. However, Fellow comes to the island before he can obliterate the final remaining one, an occasion that is seen by gamers everywhere. With the burglary uncovered, Antoine keeps the excess server locked down and requests that Millie leave her claim and give up the Free City licensed innovation IP, alongside the benefits from the game. Millie, accepting the genuine worth of the game is in its customizing, energetically concurs. The game's occupants are saved. Without Millie and Keys' sans code, City 2 is a devastating disappointment at send-off. Antoine is criticized by the media for his currently uncovered wrongdoings, and he is captured for burglary and criminal harm. Keys, Mouser, and Millie start an effective new organization with the recuperated code to deliver free life, bringing Fellow, Mate, Buddy, and the other Free City NPCs into it. Because of Fellow, Millie understands that Keys' code was, as a matter of fact, an adoration letter to her, and they embrace and kiss. Fellow reunites with Mate, and they start to carry on with their own carries-on, within free existence without following their unique Free City coding. Subscribe to my channel for the ultimate movie recap experience. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit that subscribe button and become a part of our ever-growing community of film fanatics. Let's explore the world of movies together.